All right. So once again, thank you so much for joining today. My name is Adrian. I'm one of the student recruitment managers slash product managers from Study Group, and I'm looking after our U.S. university partners, four specifically, namely Baylor University, DePaul, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and also Lipscomb University. So what I'll do, I'm gonna cover the overview information for all these universities, a bit on the courses that are being offered, and also the USPs. Since it's just a few of us on the call, right, please feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. Yeah. Okay. So starting with the entry points that are available at Study Group. So basically, unlike UK universities, we are allowing students to enroll for our direct entry or direct admissions route. So meaning to say in simple terms, right, our students are able to pretty much get admitted, right, through our traditional entry and go straight into the first year of the degree programs. Just a quick double check. Can everyone hear me well? And can everyone see my screen? I just want to be very, very sure. Sherry, can you hear me? And can you see my screen? Okay, see the chat there. Okay, yes. All right, cool. Thank you, Adrian. Right. So aside from the direct entry route, yeah, if the student does not meet our English proficiency requirements, these students will be able to still get admitted into our pathway courses or our international year one. Now, the beauty of it is that the students will be able to take on a few English subjects, right? But despite that, the students will already be starting with their university program. They will be already studying within the university vicinity. They will be mixed with the direct entry students, and they will be able to still complete the course within 4 years as per normal. So in terms of the duration, there's no difference at all, right? So it's not like your typical foundation program. Now, another thing that I want to emphasize here is this what we call the optional practical training, right? Or OPT in short. OPT, right, in simple terms, this is your post-study work opportunity. So what happens is once the student completes the program, that particular student will be able to work in the United States for 1 year. If that student completed a STEM designated course, now STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, this student will be able to stay and work in the United States for 3 years instead of just 1 year. And that's one of the main key benefits, right, or key perks of why a student would want to study in the United States. Now, all of these that I've mentioned, right, are also applicable for our master's courses. So in other words, our master's students will be able to enroll straight into the first year of our university courses. If they don't meet the English requirements, they will still be able to take on our master's international year or pre-master's program. They will be able to complete the course in just 2 years as per normal. And yes, the OPT or the optional practical training is also applicable for our master's students. So in other words, right, an undergraduate student will actually be able to stay in the US maximum for 12 years, right? If they would choose to study undergraduate and then progress to master's together with their optional practical training. Now, in terms of the general entry requirements, what we are looking for our undergraduate courses, right, would be our senior high school graduation certificate. This is specifically for Taiwan. And the grades requirements would be between 65% to 75% as an overall average. Now, of course, if the student has studied within an international school, then what we're going to be looking for is your typical IGCSE, IB, O levels, right? And the grades that we are going to be asking for would be 5 passes, right? Or C's, or overall equivalent. Now, in terms of the master's courses, the academic requirements would be a bachelor's degree as per normal. And then the grade requirements would be between 2.5 to 3.0 US GPA equivalent. Okay. English requirements for direct entry would be usually 6.5 overall or equivalent. Now, we accept a variety of English course, right? We have TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, and Pearson Versant. Most of the universities, though, may not accept Pearson for direct entry, and some of them are still what they call it, considering if they were to accept Duolingo. So the safest bet would always be TOEFL or IELTS. Now, or rather, if the student did not meet the English requirements, as I've mentioned, there will be respective entry points that are available in terms of the pathway courses. All right, so next up, I'll start with DePaul University as well as the first university for us to go through. So DePaul University, right, is one of the highest ranking university partners that we have in the US. To be specific, it is ranked 127. And just to give you some context, right, there are 4,500 to 4,600 US colleges and universities. So 127, or actually within 300, right, in terms of ranking, is still considered quite high. Location-wise, it is located in Chicago. Well, as you know, Chicago is one of the most popular destinations of our international students. Third largest city in the United States. Voted as second right now, the second right now in terms of best city to live in. Career success wise, many of our students, in fact, most of our students, I should say, are able to get internships, part-time jobs, and optional practical training opportunities. And that's usually not a problem, all right, because of the location itself. And on top of that, DePaul University is very much integrated into the city itself, which means everyone know who DePaul is, and most of the lecturers or professors rather are professionals within the industry. So we even get a lot of instances where the professors themselves are hiring our students. Right? So again, that's just one of the perks of pretty much studying at DePaul University. Now, in terms of the courses that are quite popular within DePaul, that will be your business, accounting, entrepreneurship, and computer science related courses, and also game design, actually, right, which is becoming more popular now in North Asia. Now, I've listed down some courses, right, that we feel they're getting more and more popular. I think mainly because of the popularity of it in terms of the job market, right? So artificial intelligence, one very good example, is currently rather number one, emerging within the within the job market in the US. So as you can see here, we have business analytics as another good option for students taking on a master's degree. Business analytics, right, is one of the favorites, I should say, for students, is because number one, in terms of the major, it is a combination of the traditional business subjects plus computer science and data science, right? So in terms of the progression into the job market, it is more flexible. And also the ease of entry, right? The GPA requirement for business analytics is only 2.5. Right, so it's lower compared to the rest of the other master's degree programs, which is usually around 3.0 to 3.2. Now, the other good thing is that business analytics do not require GRE and GMAT or GMAT. And on top of that, it is a STEM designated program. So meaning to say, right, despite of it being under the business college, right, it is a STEM designated program, so it would still allow students to stay in the United States longer, well, 3 years to be specific. I'm not going to dive into the details for the others, but we also have data science, hospitality, surprisingly, and finance, business administration, and also cybersecurity just to name a few of the popular courses that we have at DePaul. Now, of course, aside from those courses that I've just mentioned, right, we still have a long list of other courses available at DePaul. In fact, DePaul is just really one of those universities, right, that has or delivers any course that you could think of aside from engineering, right? So for example, under the College of Business, right? Again, we have a long list here. So I've mentioned about business analytics moments ago. We also have your typical business administration or MBA programs, although it's only offered in fall. One interesting business course here as well is the Bachelor's in Business Management. It is, again, it is a business course, but it's also a STEM designated degree program. So it allows students, right, who would want to be in under a business college to actually stay in the US longer as well. All right. So that's a very, very important USP for DePaul University. Now we also have the College of Computing and Digital Media, where we deliver computer science related courses. We even have film and television. Film and television, again, one of the popular courses as well. We even send our students to Hollywood for their internships. I've mentioned we have game design and we also have graphic design. We have the College of Science and Health for those students who would want to become licensed doctors, licensed nurses, pharmacists. College of Communication for journalism, media arts, and digital communication. College of Education for students who would want to become licensed teachers. We also have the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, Music and Theater School, and of course your College of Law. Although for College of Law, we only offer master's level direct entry programs, right? So there's no LLB or Bachelor of Laws courses available right now. Now, in terms of the tuition and fees, I don't want to confuse you with the numbers there, but the typical annual tuition and fees that a student pays for our undergraduate, of our undergraduate students rather, would be between 41 to 43,000 US dollars. So again, the yearly tuition and fees, right, of our undergraduate students would be between 41,000 to 43,000 US dollars. And if the student would be aiming for a master's degree, it will depend on the particular course that he will go for. So for example, if the student will be studying an MBA, that will be 66,000 US dollars for 2 years, right, for the full program. While if the student would be taking on, let's say, computer science, the fees would be lower. It would only be 45,000 US dollars for the whole of 2 years, right? So later on, you will receive this this material, so you'll be able to refer to the specific tuition and fees for the respective courses. And then, of course, we also have your tuition and fees for pathway students as well. Now, in terms of scholarships, right, I believe DePaul is one of the most generous one in terms of the scholarships. In fact, for undergraduate students, we offer up to 24,000 US dollars worth of scholarships. And this can be extended to the subsequent years. So meaning to say it could be extended to your second year, third year, and fourth year, right? We've had students who are getting 96,000 US dollars worth of scholarships. And again, we go all out, right? Especially if the student is deserving. In terms of the scholarships for our master's courses, right now it's only applicable for our business related courses. And the range would be between 1,000 to 5,000 US dollars. Now, for the application and confirmation deadline, the next intake is the winter intake. Starting date would be 3rd of January. And the application deadline, the earliest one actually would be 25th of October. That's already next week. And this is mainly for our computer science related courses. Now, for the rest of the other courses, it would be between 5th of November to 19th of November. And then confirmation deadline, as you can see on your screen right now, would be between 18th November to December 1st. And then, of course, we also have our spring intake, which starts in March. And the application deadline would be between 30th of January to 15th of February. The spring deadline, or rather the spring intake rate, the March intake is only applicable for direct admission. So we don't have this particular intake for our pathway courses. Okay, so we just went through DePaul University right just now. DePaul University is one of the most traditional universities that you could ever find. Now, Texas A&M University Corpus Christi, I feel for me, it's one of the most eccentric one, especially in terms of the location, right? Texas A&M Corpus Christi, right, is the only university that is located on its own island. So a lot of our students are actually going for Texas mainly because of the location. They tend to enjoy the beachfront lifestyle, the beachfront environment. And the other reason is because of the value for money part. Texas A&M University Corpus Christi is one of the most affordable university partners that we have. The undergraduate, or rather to generalize it, the tuition fees annually for our students would only be between 19,000 to 23,000 US dollars. And we also have scholarships available of up to 4,000 US dollars. Now, that doesn't compromise our academic excellence. In fact, for business and accounting courses, we are dual AACSB accredited, which puts us among the top 2% of the universities. And that's a really, really great accomplishment there. We also specialize in undergraduate engineering programs, and our employment rate for our students is around 9%, 8% higher than the national average. And one of the main reasons, right? And in fact, later on, you'll see that for all of our universities, our employment rate is higher than the national average. It's one of the reasons because of our career and services development centers or departments. Now, these departments, right, are within all of our university partners. The main job or the main function of these departments, in simple terms, they help students to get jobs. And when I say jobs, right, I'm talking about internships, graduate assistantships, post-study work, and well, I think I mentioned about part-time jobs just now as well. So, you know, they help our students by training them how to build their own portfolio, how to build their resume, how to carry themselves during interview, and also you know, they are the ones that organize these job fairs, connecting the students to their future employers. So that's really, really important. Now, in terms of location, we are obviously in Texas. As you know, in fact, Corpus Christi itself, right, specifically the cost of living, right, is tremendously low compared to the other neighboring states or cities, right? And of course, in terms of job opportunities, it's plenty. Texas is the second largest, has the second largest economy in the U.S. Now, for the popular courses, I've mentioned about business and accounting just now. Again, we are dual AACSB accredited. Only a few schools has this particular accreditation. We are also quite popular in terms of our computer science, specifically systems programming. And also mechanical engineering. Both of these courses are ABET accredited. Now, ABET is your main accreditation that is awarded to universities that delivers computer science and engineering related courses. So in fact, in the US, right, a lot of the renowned employers are specifically looking for students that have graduated through ABET accredited universities. Now, of course, aside from these courses, right, we still have other courses available for students. So we have health sciences, biomedical sciences, we have nursing courses, we have mechanical engineering, we even have music and arts for undergraduate levels. For graduate courses, we have Masters of Public Administration, Our MBA for Texas is also only available during fall, September intake. So many of our students right now are going for Masters of Public Admin. And I think one of the reasons also is that there's no GRE required for MPA or Masters of Public Administration. Another really, really popular course that we have in terms of our Masters is for Computer Science. In fact, roughly around 65 to 70% of our master's students are applying for computer science. For spring intake, we have just waived our, what do you call that, our GRE and GMAT requirement. So this is another, really great opportunity for our students. Now, in terms of our accommodations, we have 2 on-campus accommodations available at TAMAC. Just showing you some quick photos here. So as you can see, right, the beach is literally just a few minutes away, and not even minutes, so just stone throw away, literally, right? So again, one of the main things that the students tend to enjoy at Corpus Christi. Here are some other amenities within the accommodations as well. Now, in terms of the cost, I did mention for undergraduate students, the range would be between 19 to 23,000 US dollars per year. And then for our graduate courses, it's going to be between 19 to 20,000 US dollars per year. Now, the other good thing is that the deposit for Texas A&M Corpus Christi is only 1,000 US dollars. If you're comparing it with other US universities, right, they're actually requiring 3,000 US dollars as a form of deposit. This is for the university to issue you with an I-20 that would obviously be used for visa application. Now, again, I did mention moments ago, in terms of scholarships, we have between 1,000 to 4,000 US dollars worth of scholarships. For our calendar for the application deadline, it's almost similar to DePaul. The application deadline would be between November 1 to December 10th, and the confirmation deadline would be between December 1st to December 17th. This is for the January 2022 start. Okay, so next one we have Baylor University. Baylor University is our highest ranking US university partner, right? So in fact, in the United States, Baylor University is the highest ranking university that offers a pathway program. In terms of ease of entry, we can even accept students with a 2.5 US GPA. All of the other US universities within the top 80 rankings, right, the ones that I've seen, require students to have between 3.0 to 3.8 US GPA. So only Baylor, right, is able to accept students with this particular GPA range. So that's again another reason or another USP of Baylor. Now Baylor is mainly popular, right, for students who are aiming for higher ranking universities, for the high end US universities, if you will. In terms of location, we are located in Waco, Texas. Now, Waco, Texas is just a few hours away from Austin, and Austin is pretty much the tech hub of Texas, right? Austin is now being dubbed as the Silicon Hills. Again, because of the rising number of tech hubs, I believe they already have 2,716 tech companies currently in Austin. And obviously, right, the main reason why it's a good thing is because Baylor University is one of the main source of manpower for these tech hubs or tech companies rather. Now, in terms of the popular courses, right, we have business related. In fact, as you can see here, our entrepreneurship program is number 8 in the US. Now that ranking is really, really high. We are also quite popular in terms of our engineering courses. With regards to our employment rate, our students from the engineering courses, right, or majors, 93% of these students are already getting employed even before completing their course. Now imagine, right? They haven't even completed their program and they're already getting jobs. So that's another, perks of studying at Baylor University. In terms of the internship placement rate, it is also really high. In fact, it's almost 100%. And it is 100% for our students studying business slash sales. Now, aside from these courses, we have other courses available in the undergraduate level. So you have health science related arts, linguistic courses, and music. For our master's courses, we only have the Masters of Engineering Interdisciplinary. Now, this particular program allows students to study courses within computer engineering, mechanical engineering, and electrical engineering. And on top of that, also MBA related courses, right? So it is really for those students that are already or within the engineering industry. So engineers, right? Pretty much that would like to climb up the corporate ladder. Now, the other good thing about this is that there's no GRE required. So, again, in terms of ease of entry. So if you have students who are looking to improve their English, right, before moving on to Baylor University, and if they want to do this, within their home country still, we have the English for University Studies program. In simple terms, this is a virtual learning English course. So and in terms of the course fees, it's only between 3,500 to 5,000 US dollars. Now, this particular program can also allow students to meet our English proficiency requirement at Baylor University. In terms of tuition and fees and scholarships for undergraduate courses, the range of tuition and fees would be 50,000 to 53,000 US dollars per year. And we also have scholarships of up to 21,000 US dollars. Again, it's per year. So meaning to say students are able to apply for up to 84,000 US dollars in total. For the graduate courses, the tuition and fees yearly would be between 31,000 to 37,000 US dollars. Last but not the least, we have Lipscomb University. Lipscomb University is within top 200 of university rankings. Popular courses would be healthcare, informatics degree, engineering programs, pre-medicine. In fact, we are number one pre-medicine, or we have we are number one, pre-medicine in Tennessee. And we are also quite popular in terms of business and hospitality courses. Now, in terms of the entry points that are available, we only have the undergraduate direct entry currently. So we don't have master's courses or pathway courses. Location-wise, we are in Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee, as you know, is in the South. It is a tourist destination. In fact, it's one of the 50 best places to travel. What else? It's dubbed as the Music City, right? It is one of those places where they would organize events and concerts, to be specific, at least once every month, right? So if you have students who enjoy this sort of environment, then Lipscomb would be a good option for them. In terms of our student outcomes, most of our students, in fact 90% of them, are already employed or getting employed or getting accepted by a grad school within 6 months of graduation. We really have a very high job placement rate. In fact, it's 100% for some of our courses. Scholarships wise, we offer a 10,000 US dollar scholarship every year. Now, I've listed here a number of courses that are quite popular. And one of the reasons why is because of the high job placement rate. As you can see, for example, computer science, we have a 100% job placement rate. Excuse me. And the other part is because of the really high, what do you call that, passing rate, right, in terms of our licensure exams. Licensure, it means, as an example, for nursing, right? In 2019, we have at least around 98%, most, well, almost all of our students actually managed to get their license, right, by passing the NCLEX exam. All right. So, again, that's just one really good example. Um, Aside from these courses, we have still other courses that are available within engineering, business, education, college, and also, in fact, we have a Bible and Ministry College if any of your students are interested, liberal arts, and also pharmacy and health. Now, one course that I find that's really interesting here was the hospitality management. And one of the reasons is because it's the only course that I know, at least, right, that comes with a part-time job. So meaning to say, once the student gets admitted, we are able to accommodate or facilitate a part-time job for that particular student. It also has four routes. So we have event management, entertainment, technical services. Well, ETS is those folks who are providing, the lighting and the sounds, working on the stage support of those events. And of course, your more traditional hospitality, hotel, and restaurant route, pretty much. Yeah. Now, in terms of the tuition and fees, we have a yearly tuition and fees of 35,000 US dollars. And as I've mentioned just now, we have scholarships worth 10,000 US dollars every year. Now, the good thing is that for the first year, the student will automatically get a $10,000 scholarship as long as they, of course, get admitted. So it means, right, instead of 35,000, they will only need to pay 25,000 for the first year. They can maintain that scholarship amount for their subsequent years, for year 2 to year 4, for as long as they maintain a 2.0 GPA, which is not that difficult to maintain because 2.0 GPA is your passing grade, right? So you can already, or you can almost say, rather, that the $10,000 scholarship is automatically awarded to the student from first year to fourth year. Okay, so before I move on to your questions, just really quick, in terms of admissions. Now, I understand that probably most of you are more familiar with the UK admissions process. Our US process tends to be a bit similar. So what happens is that we would also require students to submit your usual documents, right? So your application form, passport, English proficiency scores, academic documents such as transcripts, certificates, individual mark sheets, which are, very important. And on top of that, some supporting documents, especially for master students, such as personal statement, CV, recommendation letters, and also study gap, right? Now, in terms of the process itself, what happens is when you submit your application, our admissions team within study group are the ones who would receive that. So they are the first point of contact. When they receive that, they will review the application pack and they will inform you which particular document or information should still be submitted or is pending. And then once that's done, they would forward it to the university. Now, unlike some or most of the UK universities that we are in partnership with, right, the US university partners themselves, right, are the ones issuing the offers and making the decisions. So it is really, really important for us to make sure that all documents and information are submitted. Now, once that's done, they will issue an official unconditional offer, right, where the student can accept that and submit those acceptance documents together with some other forms, like an affidavit and financial forms that they'll need to fill out. And instructions will also be within the offer letter, so you don't have to worry about that as well. And then once that's done, you will be issued with the I-20. Now, turnaround time, ours is a bit longer, right, compared to the UK universities, only because of the credential evaluation that happens during this process, right? So we do a credential evaluation, which is required for all US universities, right? So that the students would no longer need to submit their documents for external credential evaluation. Now, there are still certain courses where we still require students to do that, but for most of our courses, right, we do the credential and evaluation internally for the students. So we don't need the students to submit their documents for external credential evaluation anymore. Now, again, for the turnaround time, it's 7 to 10 working days upon receiving all the documents that are that has to be submitted to the university, and then again the university would issue the official offer letter, and then for the confirmation, it takes around 3 to 5 working days for the student to receive an I-20, right? So that the clock starts rather, right, when the acceptance documents are all submitted. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna take on your questions now if you have any. Thank you. So please feel free to go off mute or type in your questions on the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer them. Any questions, anyone? Sherry, did I manage to cover everything? Right, so I just got a question from Adrian. It's a it's a nice name there. Adrian's
Hi,
asking.
Adrian.
Yep, Sherry. Yep.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear a lot of background noise? Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah, so I'll just move on to Adrian's question here. So Adrian Chen was asking, do you have a list of graduate programs that participate in Baylor's PMP? Now, Adrian, unfortunately, we only have the Masters of Engineering Interdisciplinary as a master course under Baylor University. And that particular program is also available through the Pathway course or the PMP program. So again, the name of the course is Masters of Engineering. I hope that helps. Any other question from anyone? No problem, Adrian. Maybe from Jack or Jackie, do you guys have any questions before we end the session? All right, sure, no problem. So I understand that there's really plenty of information to digest there. So pretty much when you get into or dive into the details after looking through the materials, then you can please feel free to ask or reach out to myself or Sherry if you have any questions. We'll also be sending the recording to everyone, so that you could forward it to your respective teams. So again, thank you very much for spending time with us. And hopefully this session helps. All right. So take care, everyone. Thank you. Take care.
Adrian, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you
Sherry.
hear me? Thank you for attending this webinar. So Jackie, Adrian, and Jack, and also Jeffrey, who just left, you are going to get a Starbucks voucher. So please email me. So the voucher. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.